What's up, collectors and ultra subs enthusiasts? Today we're going to be taking our first look at 2022 Transformers Legacy G1 Skids and Transformers Prime Bulkhead. Well, what do we have here now? Last year we got a little sneak peek before the convention to let us know what is to come, and this year is no different. As you can see, we got two figures here and they look amazing. Now for Bulkhead, upon first glimpse you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? Like, from top to bottom, this guy looks just nothing like his actual representation, and I was exactly like that. As soon as I saw him, I was like, I'm not gonna go ahead and take this guy into my collection because he kind of looks awkward, and you know me, I love my figures to be accurate. If they're not accurate, then just I don't add them to my collection. But this time I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy a shot because it looks amazing, man. The color distribution and the sculpted and detail that this guy is rocking is not that bad, and the things that he brings to the table are really unique, and he kind of brings that by for a couple of Hounds and Bulkhead together. I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and explain in a couple minutes, but first let's go ahead and jump straight into Skids. Now for Skids, it's a completely different story. I love everything that is going on with this guy from top to bottom. This guy is perfection at its finest, and it kind of gives you an idea of what is to come, how the plastic and how they're gonna look, the scale and all that, and kind of the upgrades and the things they're gonna go ahead and translate from the Kingdom line or the War for Cybertron line into this Legacy line that is gonna come in 2022. But as you can see, they don't look that different from the Kingdom line. There are a couple things that are completely different, and there are a couple things that are translating. For example, the shares and the way that the transformation is portrayed, you can clearly see that some bits and pieces are going to translate from the War for Cybertron line into this line. But there are a couple things that are completely different. For example, this kind of laser thingamajig that he's rocking on the back, that clear plastic thingamajig there, we're going to see that better on a couple pictures. But in terms of accuracy, you can clearly see that this guy from top to bottom is just a copy and paste from the G1 representation, and I'm not complaining at all. That's exactly what I want from my figures, accuracy, and this guy brings it to the table. And now moving on to a couple different pictures, you can appreciate a couple different looks. You can clearly see more of that beautiful sculpted and detail that this guy has in that middle picture. The Autobot logo looks fantastic, the grill, the robotics, you mentioned it, man, everything looks fantastic. And on the left and on the right, you can clearly see that blue, clear, translucent plastic weapon thingamajig. I don't know what you might call that, but man, that brings some good memories. When I was a kid, I had a couple of figures like that, some Autobots and Decepticons, but I really don't remember what was the name of those figures, the brand and all that, because those figures are gone by now. But it really does bring memories, and right now he's holding it like a blaster, but you can clearly see a peg port on the front as well, so you can hold it as a mace. And well, honestly, not that bad. By the looks of it looks like every single figure is gonna bring one, and I'm really interested to know which different colors are they gonna bring. If the Autobots have blue and the Decepticons purple, or is gonna be random, all sorts of colors, green, red, you mentioned it, and which weapons are they gonna bring. I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do on that regard. But you can clearly see that he has some decent mobility, and you're gonna be able to pose him however you see fit. And in terms of the vehicle mode, you can see that everything looks amazing. The color distribution and the sculpting and detail, they translate really well into the vehicle mode itself, and you can see that they have still the peg ports available. You can go ahead and pick the weapons left, right, and center, whatever you want. It's all up to personal preference. On accuracy, you can clearly see that everything looks exactly the same as the G1 representation. The only thing different are the black rims. They're not supposed to be black, but other than that, everything looks amazing. And for a couple of different angles of the vehicle modes, you can appreciate how it looks. As you can see, it looks fantastic, not that bad at all, man. From top to bottom, left to right, this guy looks amazing, man. I just cannot wait to add this guy into my Autobot collection. Now moving on to Bulkhead, you can see that, well, like I told you in the beginning, this guy is not accurate at all to his particular representation, and it's because this mold is Optimus Prime mold, so they kind of retool it, upgrade it a little bit, put a different head sculpt, and call it Bulkhead. That's why you see the boxy looking chest and all the things that pretty much Optimus has. You can see the two wheels on the legs, that's a trademark for Optimus as well. So just overall, man, this guy is not a copy and paste of the actual Bulkhead, so that is a bummer. But what I meant on the beginning, that I said that this guy is kind of like a mix of a Hound and Bulkhead, is that I see this guy like the Age of Extinction Hound, and I kind of see Bulkhead in it. And for comparisons, you guys can see what I'm talking about. On the left, obviously we got Bulkhead, and on the right we got Hound. And what I mean that I say that this guy is kind of like a mix of both of them is that on the vehicle mode it looks a little bit more as Hound from the Age of Extinction movie, and on bro mode it looks a little bit more as the Transformers Prime Bulkhead. So you know, kind of mix of both of them. Obviously it's not accurate to either of them, it looks completely different, but it kind of has there's a little things here and there. For example, the phase, the weaponry is like Transformers Prime Bulkhead, and the vehicle mode and the way that everything is portrayed is like the Age of Extinction Hound. And obviously this guy is not fat city like both of them, is a little bit more sleeker, and this is due to him being a slightly retooled version of Optimus Prime. For a closer look and a couple different angles, you can appreciate this guy a little bit more. You can see that, man, overall looks fantastic. The sculpted in detail and the paint distribution looks nice. It's kind of decent, honestly, for those that want accuracy. It's meh, but overall it looks fantastic. For example, the Autobot look looks great on the precision it's in. You can see that he has that thing that they use to kind of grab some other vehicles and drag them if they need to. You can see that on the chest as well. You can see the front lights, you can see the windshields as well. And overall, for the sculpted in detail on the face, it looks fantastic. It kind of looks a little bit menacing, and that's kind of the point of Bulkhead, because he's the brawn of the Autobots. And on the left and on the right, you can see the weapon, the clear kind of weird weapon that this guy is rocking is kind of like a minigun that he has on the shoulders. And you can see the shield and his iconic kind of mace thingamajig. I don't know which I'm gonna call that, but you can see that that's accurate to the Transformers Prime Bulkhead as well. For the vehicle mode, you can see that just like Skids, the sculpted in detail paint distribution translates beautifully, and this is what I mean that it looks exactly the same as the Age of Extinction vehicle. Obviously it's not an exact copy, but it kind of looks similar, and the aesthetics of this guy, it kind of brings me that memories of the Age of Extinction Hound. Now for me personally, it's the vehicle mode that attracts me the most. If it wasn't for that, then this guy would have been a pass for sure, and I just cannot wait to compare it and see how it scales with the rest of my Autobots. And that is another thing, we don't know what the scale yet, so they can be a little bit more smaller to the Warfare Cybertron line, or a little bit more bigger, we don't know yet. Hopefully they're gonna be the same size, fingers crossed for that, but for now we don't know. Tomorrow is a convention, so we're gonna go ahead and have a lot of videos, a lot of discussions here, so stay tuned for that. And hey, hopefully they answer our questions of the scale and what the whole line is gonna offer, and the release dates and all those sweet stuff. But that brings us to the end of the video. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about Skids and Bulkhead? We're gonna go ahead and pick them up. They're gonna be a pass for you, or you're just gonna go ahead and wait to the convention to see what you think about the whole line. Leave that on the comments. But that's pretty much it for the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps you to algorithm and helps my videos get out there in a while. So if you get any value to make content, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. But that's pretty much it for the 2022 Transformers Legacy G1 Skids and Transformers Prime Bulkhead.